Hello you lovely lot, my name is Max and welcome back to my YouTube channel and another Nottingham Forest match preview. In today's video we're going to be previewing our upcoming midweek championship match against Queen's Park Rangers at the time of recording taking place today, and hopefully a big opportunity to keep pace with the playoff pack and hopefully reduce that gap towards 6th place this season. Before we do that, as you can probably tell by the sound of my voice, I'm not very well at the moment. I've got COVID, so I am probably not going to be talking as much today as I normally would about QPR. I think most of it's pretty self-explanatory anyway, but yeah, I've got COVID, so the explanation may not be as in-depth as my usual videos are. As we usually do in these videos, I will be spending a minute talking about our previous game, talking about that Reading game, that amazing 4-0 win we had at the weekend against the Royals in one of our best performances in the Championship this season. So before you do that, don't forget to drop a like down below and subscribe to the channel whilst you're down there. Turn on notifications so you don't miss a single video, and I would really appreciate you doing this because I am in a lot of pain at the moment with COVID, so your support will be very much appreciated. Without any further ado, let's talk about the QPR game and the Reading game. Starting with Reading, as usual, time code on screen if you want to skip forward. Let's get into it. Let's start talking about that Reading game then, and what a result it was on the day for the Reds. An amazing 4-0 win. Granted, against probably one of the worst teams in the Championship this season, still a very solid performance, 4 goals, a clean sheet, and pretty much every player on the pitch looking at their best for the performance. It was great to see Keinan Davis start to add some more goals to his game. That has maybe been the one complaint of him this season since joining in January, that he hasn't scored at the rate you would expect and has maybe been a little bit unselfish at times, should be a bit more selfish in his play. We definitely saw that today, getting off the mark after only like 17 seconds against the Royals and then adding another one just after half time. Ryan Yates and Joe Worrell as well having 2 of their best games in a Forest shirt as well, really starting to come good. Yates especially, who's recently earned that new contract in the last week or so. Despite these 3 very impressive performances, I actually wanted to highlight Jed Spence as the man of the match, who scored him down as the man of the match on the day. And for me personally, for the highlights I've seen, he was probably the best player on the pitch, as has been customary in pretty much every one of his appearances for the club this season. Very much on track to become one of our players of the year this year, and this game was no exception. He obviously kept a clean sheet and contributed 3 defensive actions over the course of the game, including tackles, interceptions, blocks, all that good stuff. But going forward was really where he thrived, getting 2 assists on the day and 3 key passes, 3 chances created for his teammates, including setting up that opening goal for Keinan Davis after just 17 seconds, the quickest goal in the Championship this season. And that win lifts us up to 9th place in the Championship at the time of recording, with Nottingham Forest currently unbeaten since the end of January when we lost 2-1 to Cardiff City. A really good run of games, which includes winning 2 FA Cup games and taking us into the quarterfinals against Liverpool and putting us in a really healthy position to finish in the top 6 in the Champ this season. Our opponents, on the other hand, have seen their promotion charge hit a little bit of a hurdle in recent weeks, having picked up 3 losses in their last 6 games. That being said, though, they did beat one of the other playoff contenders in the former Luton Town just in the week gone by, so they've definitely got the credentials to finish in the playoffs this season. So let's talk a little bit about this game and how both QPR and Forest are doing contrastingly this season. By the time we're recording, QPR currently sit in 4th place in the Championship, looking to return to the Premier League for the first time since 2015. They're currently managed by former Brentford, Rangers and Forest manager Mark Warburton, who I talked about in that Nottingham Forest manager video you can check out in the icon above. He's produced a really dynamic and ball-dominant side at QPR who like to attack with width, ranking 5th in the league for average possession and 8th in the league for chances created from crosses. I feel like I'm making a pretty obvious statement here, but the best facet of their game is their attack. They're 3rd in the league for goals scored and take the 7th most shots in the league at the moment, with the 3rd highest shots on target percentage, which is a really good suggestion that not just are they taking good quality shots, but shots that could generate potential goal scoring opportunities, getting those shots on target against the goalkeeper. However, a product of this really open and expansive style of play has been a pretty porous defensive record this season, to say the least. They're definitely one of the weaker teams defensively in the league and definitely make up for this with their high scoring attack. They rank 8th from bottom in the Championship for shots conceded, which is really not very good, as in they concede the 8th most shots in the Championship this season and actually concede more chances than they generate. I believe they generate around 11.6 chances per match and concede about 12.5, so they're only marginally shot deficient, but that's really not a good sign for a team looking to push to the playoffs, and actually quite rare for what is a pretty decent team this season. And this has led to them conceding the 9th most goals in the league this season with 42, only having a plus 10 goal difference despite how positive their attacking performances have been this season. So to conclude, as I've briefly sort of talked about there, sort of merging the tactics and the season overview together in that little section, QPR are an extremely expansive and attacking side that create a decent amount of opportunities, particularly from crosses and in the wide areas, and are extremely good at generating high quality chances that are easy to convert. This is probably going to be that whoever starts between the sticks for us, whether it be Hovarth or Sambo, depending on who is chosen on the day, it's probably going to be quite busy and it's going to have some quite high quality opportunities coming their way. So they're definitely going to need to be in the best form possible. That being said, they are not the most solid defensive unit. They concede a lot of opportunities from open play and have one of the most poorest defenses in the league, especially considering their position in the league. And this is often happening where they're committing large amounts of men upfield when they have high sort of periods of possession. They seem to be left exposed at the back with a few too many men committed forward, and this could definitely be a really good opportunity for Forest, who have a penchant for attacking on the counter-attack, or particularly good attacking down this avenue. So there could be some really good opportunities, particularly down that right-hand side for Forest to burst forward and create good quality opportunities. So normally in these videos, I also go a little bit more into the tactics specifically, but obviously being a little bit under the weather and having been in bed the last few days, I haven't really had the chance to dive too much into QPR's tactics. So I've sort of merged those together in the previous section, talking about how their season's going so far. So instead I wanted to highlight some of the more talented young players in their squad at the moment. Two in particular being Chris Willock and Elias Scher. According to Who Scored, Chris Willock, a 24-year-old winger, has been their best player this season at around 7.14 rating. Willock is by far and away the best ball carrier in this QPR team, attempting and completing the most dribbles in the QPR squad at the time of play, attempting around 3.8 per match with a successful rate of about 63%, which is pretty good by championship standards. He's also contributed 18 goals to this side, the most in the QPR squad, and is the highest assister and second highest scorer in their squad at the moment. Another key player for them has been the Moroccan international Elias Scher, who has become their joint highest scorer in the league this season with 8 goals, and has very quickly become one of the most in-demand players in the championship at the moment, and definitely somebody, if QPR don't go up this season, that is worth looking at. If you're a Bournemouth, if you're a Fulham, if you're a Forest, if you're getting promoted, definitely it's all worth taking a look at, because I definitely think he's got one of the highest ceilings of players in this squad at the moment. And like I said, probably one of the most dangerous forwards in that squad at the moment. He scored 8 goals this season, the highest scorer in the league alongside Lyndon Dykes, and takes around 3 shots per match, which is the most in that QPR squad. And with both he and Willock at 24 years old this season, they're definitely players that are worth a punt should QPR not be promoted this season. And if they are, definitely players to watch in the Premier League next season if that's to happen. Overall, this QPR squad is young and hungry and under a very good experienced manager in Mark Warburton, and could cause this Forest side some real issues, particularly when you consider some of the key injuries and players missing for Forest for this match. Unfortunately, both Steve Cook and Max Lowe are out for Forest in this match. I believe they're out for about 6 weeks each, and Philip Zinkernagel is also out for this match. And with a pretty big game against Liverpool in the FA Cup on the horizon, I would definitely suggest that this is probably the more important of the 2 games in the context of our season, and it could see players like Jack Colback, Jonathan Panzo maybe brought into the side to hopefully add some more balance, particularly to that left-hand side, and hopefully offer a bit more defensive coverage for us in their absence. And that's going to be pretty interesting. We have the 3rd best defence in the league this season, and a big part of that has been how good both Cook and Lowe have been for us since joining the club in the summer and in January, respectively. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see how Forest adapt. Hopefully, it means we see some of the under-23 players people playing in the under-23s at the moment, like Panzo and Umbeso, maybe get involved in this game, as I think we have a good amount of depth in the centre-back position. Potentially left-back could be an issue, but Jack Colback's done a very ample job when he's had to play there this season. On the other hand, QPR do have a couple of injuries, but they're definitely well enough stocked in those positions to deal with them. Their first choice goalkeeper, Seny Dieng, is missing with an injury, which means I believe it's David Marshall or someone like that has got to come in between the sticks and do a job for QPR. And their joint highest scorer, Lyndon Dykes, is also a doubt for this game. I don't know whether he's actually a start or not. A doubt obviously means he could play, he could not play, but they definitely are well stocked up front with Andre Gray and Charlie Austin both available as deputies in those positions. 2 players with absolute heaps of championship experiences and promotions in their history, who will definitely offer a good option or alternative should Dykes not be available for this one. So we come to the end of this video. I have powered my way through it, and overall I'm going to suggest this game is probably going to be a 1-1 draw. The points will probably be shared between the two sides. I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing. Forest are absolutely in the position now where we just cannot afford to lose any games, and even picking up a point here will definitely be an absolute positive. I will definitely expect to see some chances, quite a lot of chances at either end of the pitch. For Forest, because obviously we're missing two of our key defenders at the moment, despite how good our defence has been, we concede a reasonable amount of shots. And QPR, because as we discussed in this video, their defence is very, very porous. They've not kept a huge amount of clean sheets this season, despite their league positioning, and that means we could probably see a decent amount of chances at both ends of the pitch. And as you can probably expect, the game will probably be decided on who could create the highest quality chances that they can convert. QPR are a team that are very, very good in the league this season at creating high quality chances that could create goal scoring opportunities. And Forest are definitely another team like that. We create a lot of opportunities ourselves, and again, pretty high quality opportunities. So it should be interesting to see how the two attacks sort of complement each other on the day. And that is the end of the video. Obviously, of course, as usual, let me know in the comment section down below what you think the scoreline is going to be for the match against QPR. Like I said, a 1-1 draw I think would be a very, very reasonable result. A point picked up against one of our playoff contenders is no bad thing. Again, I want to apologise for the tone of my voice in this video and how I'm sounding. I am very, very ill at the moment, so I'm going to go back to bed as soon as this is done. If you did enjoy it by some miracle, don't forget to drop a like down below and subscribe once you're down there. It'd be greatly, greatly appreciated. I recently just hit 350 subs and pushing well on to 400 by the end of hopefully the next couple of months. With that being said though, thank you so much for watching. Again, apologies for my voice in this one. I will catch you later.